Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Elizabeth Doroba. A former member of the Harwood Volunteer Fire Company in Hazel Township is facing charges after troopers say he fired shots at a Jeep trespassing on the fire company's property. According to state police, the incident occurred on June 15th around 11:30 p.m. Officials say James Lockwood, a volunteer firefighter, told troopers that he had heard the Jeep trespassing on the property and yelled at the occupants to leave the area. According to Lockwood, the Jeep, which was full of teenagers, then turned in his direction and struck him. When questioned by state police, the teen driver told troopers that Lockwood had pointed a firearm at the Jeep and fired 2 shots. The teen also admitted to swerving the vehicle and striking the gunman prior to fleeing the scene. Investigators say a bullet hole was found on the front passenger side of the vehicle. Lockwood has been charged with 3 felony counts of attempted aggravated assault and 1 felony count of shooting at an occupied vehicle, among other charges. His preliminary hearing is scheduled for August 13th. A man charged with escaping from the Luzerne County Correctional Facility has been sentenced to an additional 6 months to a year in prison. According to officials, Billy Partington was mistakenly released from the Luzerne County Correctional Facility on January 26th in place of his half-brother, Drake Partington, who had posted bail. Before being released, officials say Billy signed a form with Drake's name and put on Drake's personal belongings. Billy was arrested and returned to the prison 6 days later on January 31st. Emergency crews responded to a fire in West Pittston on Thursday morning. Officials say the fire broke out around 6:30 a.m. on the 300 block of Boston Avenue. All of the residents in the building were able to evacuate safely, and no injuries were reported. A portion of Wyoming Avenue was closed while crews worked to extinguish the fire. Coming up on WYLN News, Lehigh Valley Health Network visits the Hazleton Integration Project. Plus, a new outdoor hockey rink is unveiled at Beach Street Park. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
My name is Wyln, and tomorrow is raining.
WYLN News is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner. We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. S.J. Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond Contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call S.J. Kowalski at 570-455-2600. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, fresh from the farm, everyday heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35.
Welcome back to WYLN News. A man is wanted by the Carbon County Sheriff's Office. Matthew Beers is wanted on charges of criminal trespassing, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and DUI second offense. He is known to have ties to the Lehighton area. Anyone with information regarding his whereabouts is asked to contact the Carbon County Sheriff's Office at 570-325-2821. Staff from Lehigh Valley Health Network visited the Hazleton Integration Project last week to teach kids about safety. The event was part of a summer camp program at the Hazleton Integration Project. During their visit, LVHN staff transformed the HIP gym into an interactive safety town. As the campers explored Safety Town, they learned about safety in a variety of settings, such as the street, the kitchen, the playground, the house, and the bus. The campers also learned how to dial 911 in an emergency and received free bicycle helmets. A new attraction has come to Beach Street Park in Hazleton. Located on West Beach Street, the park now includes a newly resurfaced outdoor hockey rink complete with nets. The park is open to the public. The improvement was paid for by Community Development Block Grant funds. Coming up on Frackville's News Choice, Chris Fulmer leads us down the path through history with Benton Part 1. Plus, we learn about a new exhibit coming to the Hazleton Art League on Community and You. And stay right here on WYLN. We'll be right back.
Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy is now open at 743 Catawissa Road in Tamaqua. Stop by the Dairy Bar, try over 33 flavors of homemade ice cream still made on the premises, and a full menu of hot food made to order. Have some fun at their driving range, or play mini golf on their 2 18-hole mini golf courses. Heisler's Cloverleaf Dairy, celebrating 65 years. Same great taste, same great location, same great memories to be made.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Attention, WYLN viewers! WYLN TV can now be seen on the Hazleton Service Electric Cablevision HD tier, channel 507, and over the air at 35.1. WYLN, we're your local network.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. I end up going to a dentist and he wants to charge over $600 for a night guard. That's when I found this, the Brooks night guard. This was a game changer. It's smaller than other night guards that I tried, which is a good thing because it doesn't make me gag. It could fit on the top, or the bottom of the teeth, it's lightweight and super comfortable. Now the Brux Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brux Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to bruxnightguard.com and order yours today. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
Go to bruxnightguard.com and use the promo code to activate your special TV offer. That's bruxnightguard.com. Order today and take advantage of this special TV offer. Your teeth will thank you for it in the morning.
A Path Through History is sponsored by the Old Jail Museum, 128 West Broad Street in Jim Thorpe. Call 570-325-5259 or visit them online at theoldjailmuseum.com.
The land of northern Columbia County was originally registered as one of several tracts throughout the eventual state of Pennsylvania that was reserved for the Penn family. A manor stood in the land with the name Putney Common. The first settler to buy up land in the area was Benjamin Coleman, who founded what will later be known as the Laubach Farm in 1792. Jonathan Colley would be another early settler, as would the McHenry, Hess, and Laubach families. The first school in the area was opened by Isaac Young in 1799, once there were enough children in the area for one to function. Slowly, a small farming community started to form around Fishing Creek. Although for the first few decades of its existence, it would be a sleepy hamlet that did not at first appear to grow much. The new community's biggest business would take root in the early 1800s. Its genesis came from John McHenry, who was born September 17, 1785, and is sometimes claimed to have been the first European child born in the Fishing Creek Valley. He would come to be known as Hunter John in his later years, as he bragged he had killed over 4,000 deer in his life, starting at age 13, a total he kept track of by notching hickory sticks that he hung over his fireplace. In addition to hunting, McHenry was also good at making rye whiskey. In 1812, he went into business selling it in the area, and soon became quite popular among regional drinkers. The youngest of McHenry's 9 children with the former Helena Cutler was Rohr McHenry, born in 1829, and named for Prussian Frederick Rohr, who had fled to America after facing Napoleon on the battlefield in Europe. The younger McHenry became a prominent landowner in the area, founding the village of Rohrsburg, and after his father's death in 1868, Rohr took over and expanded Hunter John's whiskey business, moving from the still house on the family property into a larger commercial factory. What was by then known as the Rohr McHenry Whiskey Distillery became the largest employer in northern Columbia County, producing 100 barrels a day of Old Rohr whiskey, which was claimed to be able to cure snake bites and other ailments. In addition to operating the distillery, Rohr McHenry would also serve 2 terms as a Columbia County Commissioner. Slowly but surely, a village started forming around the McHenry Distillery. By 1850, it was ready to be officially incorporated. The name chosen for the community, Benton, was in honor of prominent Missouri Senator Thomas Hart Benton, then completing his 5th and final term in the U.S. Senate. Benton was a strong champion of westward expansion of the nascent United States, and despite owning his own slaves, he came to be a strong opponent of slavery, a stance for which Benton was almost shot at on the Senate floor by Mississippi Senator Henry Foote in April 1850. It appears Benton never did get to visit the community that was named in his honor. The town of Benton, though, was well in place by then, with a church, a schoolhouse, a sawmill, and a tavern having sprouted up. The post office opened for business in 1852, with Daniel Hartman, who would open the first store in town, as the first postmaster. Timbering would take root north of Benton as a major industry starting around 1860. Soon the battle over slavery that Thomas Hart Benton had fought in the Senate's chambers would spell out across the wider United States, turning north against south. Within each section, however, there would be some divisions. Columbia County at that time voted largely Democratic, and thus was basically opposed to the policies of Republican Abraham Lincoln. Thus, many in the county were opposed to being drafted to fight in a war they did not see as necessary. Despite draft rules that every man between ages 20 and 45 registered for the Union Army, draft dodging and desertion became common in Columbia County during the Civil War. By one count, 75% of those drafted in the county in June 1864 failed to report for duty. Tensions ran high throughout Columbia County during this time, heightened when a Union officer was shot not far from Benton on Raven Creek in the summer of 1864. By then, rumors had started circulating that draft dodgers and Southern sympathizers were building a stone fort in the area on North Mountain near Fishing Creek, and that the supposed defenders were prepared to resist federal authority by force with cannons. And so, on July 30th, 1864, a small Union force led by Lieutenant James Stewart Robinson entered Benton Township to search for draft dodgers. After unsuccessfully looking for several other drafters, they came to the farm of Thomas Smith. Smith fled into his cornfield and soon joined by other local deserters. Shots were fired between the forces, with it not being clear which side had fired first, and in the melee Robinson was hit. He would pass on from his wounds several months later. His force gave pursuit to the deserters, but turned back without apprehending anyone. By August, federal troops under the command of Major General Darius Crouch began amassing at Bloomsburg, and sent out an ultimatum that any draft dodgers that report to Bloomsburg by August 20th would receive a pardon. The following day, 1,000 troops started marching up Fishing Creek to arrest as many deserters as they could. While a group of about 75 men in Benton were at first determined to resist what they saw as a federal invasion, they instead turned and fled when they realized they were facing a force too big to defeat. The troops marched throughout northern Columbia County through the end of August, and close to 100 anti-war suspects were taken to Benton, where they were initially detained in a church before being taken to Philadelphia for incarceration that says Fort Mifflin. And of those arrested, most were released from custody within 8 months, and most of those that were convicted were eventually pardoned. By December 1864, federal troops left Columbia County, bringing to an end the saga of the so-called Fishing Creek Confederacy.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on WYLN TV 35. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.
Welcome back to Community and You. Today I'm joined here by the Executive Director of the Hazelton Art League, Mark Peterson. Mark, how's it going today?
Fantastic, Derek. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. We always appreciate you bringing you on to the show and always telling us about the very exciting events going on at the Hazelton Art League. Always so many great things going on.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on.
Yes, and today I want to start with upcoming exhibit that you guys are showing here at the Art League, which is in honor of Frank Wiseau. it's a very exciting and interesting exhibition. So can you tell us a bit about what we can see from this exhibition this week?
Well, okay, so first of all, Frank Wyln, let me tell you a little bit about him. He was one of 12 children born to Ukrainian immigrants in Pennsylvania, and he was from the Pittsburgh area. And unfortunately, his father passed away when Frank was quite young. And so this influenced his artwork. And so when you go to the Hazleton Art League in the Hayden Family Center for the Arts, you are going to see more than 60 pieces of the 5,000 plus works that Frank Wyln did over his lifetime. And the name of the exhibition is Frank Wyln, Miners, Monks, Music, and More. And it's a really interesting life story that he had, and he was so prolific in his art.
Yes, and I know that you are starting this exhibition starting on August 2nd with the introductory day that starts at 5 p.m. over at the Hazleton Art League. It's invited to the whole public to just check out this very exciting exhibition here. Could you tell us more about how the Art League got involved with Frank Wyln, how you got the idea to bring this exhibition here to Hazleton?
Well, it's an interesting story because when I first became executive director, I'd been there for 2 years as of now, but when I first started, I was like looking around and checking out all of the artwork that the Art League had collected over the many years. We've been around for 77 years and growing. And I saw this small piece by Frank Wyln, and it was a depiction of a miner. And I thought it was really interesting, and I'm like, I want to find out more about this guy. So I did some research, and I discovered that there is a foundation, the Frank Wyln Foundation in Bethlehem. And so I reached out to them, and I asked about having an exhibition of his artwork at the Hazleton Art League. And it turns out that we were able to coordinate this. Now, it took months of talking about it and finding out what we could do. And I eventually managed to get the agreement set, and I went to Bethlehem and I picked up the artwork and I brought it back to the Art League and I put it up on the walls. And I am so excited about this because it really has a lot of meaning to people, especially in this area, who have miners who were their ancestors or who grew up in an area where coal mining was a major industry. So it's a part of our heritage, and it's a part that has a bittersweet connotation to it. There's also a lot of joy in the artwork and people doing hard work and playing music and celebrating and things like that. So there's a lot to see.
Absolutely. I'm glad that you mentioned like how it ties into like the coal heritage of northeastern Pennsylvania. So it's just it's a very big aspect of somebody who live around this area and understand like the history of what that is, especially to the Hazleton area, and just bringing an exhibition that's so personal to this area. Such a really great idea to bring to the public.
Yes, and when I talk to some people, and people have been reaching out to us here at the Art League for more information, and I find out that, oh, my grandfather was a miner, or, I live in one of those houses that the miners used to live in, and, it's really interesting. And driving through the area, you go through these patch towns, and you see mining happening to this day. And, we have Eckley Miners Village. I mean, there's so much. But that's not to say that it is the past. It's happening now, but there are also new immigration here to this area, and there's a new vitality. And so it's, I want to bring that aspect into it as well.
Absolutely. Such a very great and enriching program that you have here at the Art League with that. I know that also in alongside of this new exhibition for the month of August, you also have following in the next few days a coffee talk on Sunday, August 4th. Can you tell us a bit about the coffee talk event?
Sure. Stephen Lychek, who is the curator of the Wyln Foundation, will be coming on Sunday, the 4th of August. I always have to remember. I don't have my calendar in front of me. And it's from 1 to 3. It's free, open to the public. We'll have some light refreshments there. And he will talk about the art of Frank Wyln and give some insights into his techniques and his inspirations and the many different aspects of his artistic career.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, and if you were to go to the Art League today, for example, in preparation for the exhibition, it's up on the wall, but we have so much going on there right now. We have our summer art camp happening, which is really exciting. So there are 2 weeks left of our summer art camp, so if anybody is interested, they're welcome to do that. And in terms of exhibitions, at the end of summer art camp on August 16th, we're going to have an exhibition of the children's artwork as well. And so that will share the space in the gallery along with the Frank Wiseau pieces.
That's really awesome. That's also a really great aspect of the art, like having the great space for the youth of the area, just to have their own like summer camp and just be enriched in art at such a young age and get excited about it in that way.
It's amazing, and one of the things that I really enjoy is seeing the progression and the growth that the kids are having in their artistic abilities. So much happening with the artwork. We really want everybody to have that experience as a young kid between the ages of 6 and 14. And it's still open and available if anybody is interested in having their kids sign up for that.
Absolutely, definitely check out the summer art camp for those who are very interested in that. Just like everything else that we mentioned here today, the coffee talk on August 4th, the Frank Wiseau exhibition, which will be in the Hazelton Art League from August 2nd through August 25th. So many great things here at the Art League. Thank you once again, Mark Peterson, for being on here and telling us about all these great events.
Oh, you're so welcome. And it's always a pleasure to be here, Derek. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mark. And we'll see you next time on Community New.